What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. Today we are going to do a video on the fan favorite AXS. Now everybody's been bugging me to do an AXS video, so here it is. So if you want to figure out if AXS is going to continue pumping up to $80 or is it going to start dumping, make sure you stick around to the end of this video. And before I dive right into it, if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _the Art of Crypto, this is where I'm sharing the latest market updates and you do not want to miss out. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. So immediately, let's jump into AXS. So right off the bat, something strikes me like just immediately, and that is this pattern right here. Now this is what you would usually call a bullish pennant or, a falling wedge. So if we zoom into the 1 hourly, you can see that this is indeed either, a triangle, pennant, wedge, whatever. That doesn't matter. What matters is that this pattern right here has an apex. An apex is somewhere about here. And if you base this pattern off of the 1 hourly chart, you can see that within the next 5 hours, a decision is going to be made, maybe 6 hours at most. So let's figure out if, things are going to go up or things are going to go down. So usually what I like to do when it comes to times like this, where I don't have like a clear picture of what things are going to do, I like to go onto the higher time frame. In this case, I would like to use the daily chart, but at the moment we don't have much price data on the daily chart, as you can see, so we have to stick to the 4 hourly. So if you were in the private group, you would have traded this breakout out of this falling wedge. Now, every time before you short something, right, you always want to look for a pattern to play out. So back then, AXS was forming this sort of downward consolidation. And that is, trust me when I say that is not a time that you want to be shorting it. As for why the price consolidated to the downside towards this level is, if we just simply draw a fib, right, from the swing top to the swing low, you can see that the price bounced pretty much off of the 0.618, which goes to show that the fibs still have a place in trading. So in this case, in order to identify like any future price developments, we're going to want to mark down these levels at 1.131, 1.272, the 1.414 and the 1.618 level. And just for safe measure, let's mark down the 2 as well. So we know that if AXS does break out of this wedge and it breaks this previous all-time high at $53.4, it is probably going to go up to $85. It is probably going to go up and try to attack these levels right here. But at the moment, it has not. So here is the $1 million question. If you were not in AXS right now and you would like to get involved in AXS, this is what you do. So let's go back onto the 1 hourly chart, and right now I'm going to give you the exact trade entries. So when I mentioned that this thing had a apex, it simply means that it has to make a decision soon. As for whether or not that decision is going to bring AXS down or up, we simply read and react. So right now, we do not front run anything because, for all we know, it could absolutely pump to the moon or it could absolutely dump. So right now, we are not going to preemptively get into a position. What I would like you to do though, is I want you to mark down this level at 44.2. This is going to be a key level to watch if AXS decides to break towards the downside. And I want you to mark down this level as well at 47.35. So this is going to be the level that if it breaks above, then AXS could be looking bullish. But if AXS breaks below 44.25, then AXS is very likely going to go back to this level at 42.12. Now that is, granted, to some of you, this might not be very exciting. This is only a 4.8% drop. I don't know about you, but I'm happy with, whatever kind of gains that I'm getting. And the reason why I say that AXS might be coming back to this level is because I want you to take a look at this massive pump here. Notice how this pump was preceded by this sort of bearish block over here. So this right now is what you call a bearish order block. Now, if you're new to this channel, order blocks are basically areas of untapped liquidity. Basically, this is where the institutions are going to be, pushing the price of AXS to. So in this case, during a massive move upwards, this bearish block right here, this is what you call a bullish order block. Meanwhile, during a massive move downwards, for example, this move right here was pretty massive, yeah? This bullish candle right here is what you call a bearish order block. And notice how the price came up to this bearish order block, fill, and then it continued to dump. Now that you understand what these order blocks are, the reason why I put this level at 44.25 or like 44.2-ish is because of one reason. So if you notice, if you're new to this channel, I talk about structure a lot. So basically, I need you to understand that this massive move upwards, as well as this massive move upwards, this is caused by institutions. The reason for this, simply put, is that there is no way that retail is going to be able to compete with institutions on the money side of things. You have to understand that institutions are playing with multiple hundreds of millions to potentially billions of dollars, and they are pretty much the only ones that can move the markets. So if you're retail sitting here and you're thinking like, hey, you know, if 100,000 people buy this, yeah, sure, the price is going to move, but it's definitely not going to move as well as, you know, institutions. And the reason why I know this works is because if you watch both of my old videos on AXS, you know that I've pretty much been calling things exactly like pretty much to the dot. And the reason why I've been able to do that is because I've been trading with an institutional concept in mind. So in this case, I need you to pay attention to this level, because imagine if, you know, an institution was going long, let's say maybe from here, or maybe, you know, even from here. So imagine if you were an institution, would you, like, in your right mind, right, if you were still going long, would you really allow the price to come back down to these lows? For example, if you went long here, right, would you allow the price to drop below this level right here in this swing low? And again, the way you identify a swing low is just, you know, this candle, the low of it is shorter than the two candles next to it. So this is what you call a swing low. And back to the topic about not letting the price drop below this level, I'm pretty sure, right, just based on common sense, you wouldn't want that, because firstly, you have the power to move the markets, you have the power to prevent price from getting to this level. And secondly, why would you want the price to get down to this level and put your position into the red? That's just something you have to understand. It simply is not going to happen. So the reason why, if you notice, this right here, when I write protected low, the reason why it's protected is because when the price gets to that level, the institutions are very likely not going to allow the price to violate this low, which will put their position into the red, which means that if the price were to violate a protected low, in this case, the closest protected low is over here. If the price were to violate this, that means that the institutions are starting to go short, which means you should start to change your, you know, perspective on AXS. Now, again, the reason why I know this is because during this massive run up here, right? I'm sure you guys remember this massive run up here. The reason, like, I predicted this, right? I called this. The moment AXS broke structure and started filling bearish order blocks, I was like saying, hey, it's going to go to $15 at least. And, you know, look what happened, right? And during this entire time, you have to understand, just like the concept of protected lows, the moment the institutions start flipping bearish, right, you want to look for highs to be protected, right? Notice how the price never really violated these highs until, you know, at some point price does, and that is when the reversal really starts to happen. So you have to understand this concept of, like, honestly, if you understand this concept of protected highs and protected lows, your trading is going to be so much better because of it. Like, look at this, right? The moment the institutions went long, look at this. Price never really came back down to violate these protected lows. And you want to notice that the moment the lows were violated, we went into a bearish sort of order flow until we flipped bullish. Okay, so this is like just a very simple explanation of how to use these, you know, swing lows and swing highs to your advantage. So knowing what we know now, this is why this level is a very key level to understand, because if we do break below this level, I do expect AXS to start dumping. Now, dumped where is the question that everybody wants to know the answer to. And in this case, I'm going to give you a couple of entry points if you want to go long, or a couple of take profit points if you are going short and you want, you know, somewhere to take profit. So these levels that are marked down in light blue, this is called an order block. Okay, I hope you remember what is an order block. So these are going to be levels where institutions would like to push the price to if the price were to dump. And trust me, the reason why I know this works is because I've called it previously, and it pretty much came to the exact level. In fact, I can give you right now an example of, you know, just order blocks, right? Massive move upwards, last bearish candle, that's the order block. Look where the price came down to, right? Pretty much, you know, to the dot. Yeah, so this stuff works. So the way that you're going to want to use these levels is that, you know, if you do go short, you don't want to take all your profits at, you know, just one level. What you want to do is maybe you take 25% of your profits here, 25% of your profits here, and maybe you take the rest here if the price does get there, because nobody knows where's the exact bottom, and that's why you take profit as you go. Now, I know some beginners are going to come crying to me, oh, but you know, if I take profits too early, what if the price continues to dump and I miss out on protected gains and I miss out on potential gains? You choose your pain, right? Here's what I mean by that. every time you enter into position, you need to understand that whatever you do from that point onwards is going to be painful, right? Let's say you don't take profits, the price goes all the way down here, and then you don't take profits, and then the price bounces all the way back up to stop you out, or stop you out at break even. Would you want that? Right? That's painful as well. So at the end of the day, you need to choose what kind of pain you want to accept. For me, I'm willing to accept taking profit earlier so that, at least I'm securing the gains and I understand the snowball effect, right? 3% a day for 2 months is going to, I believe, 6x your account. Now don't quote me on that. I'm just doing quick math here, which I'm really bad at. So don't underestimate the power of small gains, but if you do it long enough, it's brilliant. If you want to go long on AXS, right, you can use these levels as sort of areas of value as well to go long onto AXS. Now, I do expect at some point we are going to retrace and, maybe take out all these protected lows. But if I do see signs of that, I'm going to update it on my Twitter. And again, if you haven't already followed me, it's _the_art_of_crypto on Twitter. So after you take profit on your short, like if, let's say, AXS does break below, then you take profit on your short, and then you go long at these areas, right? If we get there, not saying we will get there, but if it does get here, it's going to be pretty brilliant. These levels are $42, $41, and $39. So you're going to want to mark that down on your own chart. So now let's discuss the bullish scenario, because over here we are grand strategists and we do not simply focus on one side and we do not become overly biased towards any given direction. So we're going to want to discuss the bullish scenario and how to trade it. So in this case, if the price were to break above this level at 47.34, you are going to want to take a breakout long. So as the price is breaking above, you're going to want to go long along with the breakout, or alternatively, you're going to want to go for the retest right here. So contrary to popular belief, price actually does come down a bit before going upwards. So if you do get this bullish retest, this is a good entry. Now, the same applies to a breakdown as well. You either go in with a breakdown or you go in, during the bearish retest. Now, the reason why both of these entries are very, very good is because, we already have a set, target, right? Where if the price breaks, then that determines the direction. So by taking a breakout, right? Usually breakouts are supposed to make it go up and breakdowns are supposed to make it go down. Pretty self-explanatory. So if you do take, this kind of a breakout trade, you can just place a stop loss right inside the pattern, right? Because if the price does come back down to stop you out, or if it comes back down into the pattern, then that's an invalidated trade, if you know what I mean. And even the best traders in the world are wrong about half the time, and yet they are still wildly profitable. So you don't need to be right all the time in order to make money. What matters is that you do not allow any single loss to affect your account in a very big way. So risk management is key. So on a bullish breakout, the price targets, right? During an uptrend, again, we expect these highs to get attacked, right? You want to see the price come and attack these levels. As similarly, during a bearish order flow, we want to see these protected lows get attacked, right? And make them no longer protected, which means if the price were to dump, right? If the price, again, this is another entry, right? I'm calling this ahead of time. If the price does dump below, like what? This is $35. If the price does fall below $35, you can absolutely take a short until, this bullish order block right here, which is, again, a protected low. We expect the protected lows to get attacked until it doesn't. So if it falls below $35, it is very likely going to go to $32.25 at least, right? Alternatively, it's going to get to this area right here at about, what is this? $26. So this is going to be another, take profit target for your short over here as well at 24.37, over here at 21.5, and I do expect 21.5-ish to be pretty close to the low of AXS if it does get here. Now again, I'm playing off of order blocks here. These are all order blocks, and remember, order blocks are areas of untapped liquidity and institutional areas of value, which means if the price were to get to these levels, institutions are absolutely going to buy. Which means that if the price does get to these levels, there is a very good chance that the institutions are going to make the price bounce. And again, how do I know this works? Because I've tested this. I've made many calls on my YouTube channel using this concept, and it's worked out very well for a lot of times. So as for the bullish targets, you already know what is the bullish targets. These are going to be your take profit levels over here. And again, you take profit on the way up. You do not wait until, let's say, you want AXS to get to $70. What if it doesn't get to $70 before you take profit and falls all the way back down? You understand. So basically, maybe you take 25% of your profit here, 25% of your profit here, and maybe you leave a moon back and take some here, take some here, take some here. You understand my point. this is how you use these levels. And again, I'm just going to give you a moment to mark down all of these levels, because I'm giving you right now the exact levels that you should pay attention to. And if you cannot even be bothered to mark down these levels yourselves, then there is nothing more that I can do for you. And just as a precaution, I am not a financial advisor, neither is this financial advice. I'm just saying that if the price were to get to these levels, there is a good chance that there is going to be some kind of reaction. If the price were to get there, must it have a reaction? Absolutely not. I'm just saying it's likely. As compared to having a reaction in the middle of nowhere, you will have a reaction around these areas. And again, if you want the latest updates on AXS, you're going to want to follow me on Twitter at _theartofcrypto. Right now, do not try to preemptively predict anything. Just buy the breakout or short the breakdown. These are the TPs, and I do believe 21.5, if we do get there, would be pretty close to the low, right? And if it isn't the low, then I'll make another video. Simple as that. And I just wanted to let you know that if you are serious about your trading career, or maybe you just want to do this crypto thing or trading thing full time, and you just want to learn the things that work, or maybe you've seen how accurate I am with my calls and how I pretty much call many things to the exact dollar, and you just want to learn how I do the things I do, then you're going to want to check out the private Discord group. Over here, you're going to get access to a world-class trading education that will help you along your way to becoming a proficient trader. Over here, I lay out everything that I know, everything that I've learned over the years. You're going to be able to find it here in a concise course. So for those of you who are serious, this is going to be the group for you. And just as a little bonus, you're going to get access to all of my profitable daily trading setups, where we have people making money every single day. Like, look at all of these profits. Basically, all I'm saying is there's a lot of people in this group that have already paid off their membership in just a couple of trades. And even if you don't make it through these calls, the knowledge that you acquire in this group is going to stay with you for a lifetime. So at the moment, if you want to sign up for a monthly plan, we are actually almost full. So make sure you secure your spot at upgrade.chat/theartofcrypto, or you could just head to the link in the description. And I look forward to seeing you there if you're serious about your trading career. But anyways, this was a pretty long drawn out video, and I do hope that you appreciate this explanation. Now, some of you might think that, this is really simple stuff, and it is, right? Because trading, contrary to popular belief, it doesn't need to be complicated, right? The best things in life are the simple things. So don't overcomplicate your trading. And if you watch until this point so far, I just want you to go into the comment section and comment down below simplicity, so that I know who are the real ones who take their education seriously and watch this video to the end, because trust me, a lot of people don't do this. And the fact that you are means that success is probably not a matter of if, but when. So keep this up, and trust me, you're gonna do really well in life. But anyways, may the gains be with you, my friend, and I'll see you in the Discord group, and peace.